What's up, guys? So today we are reacting to a video called Why MrBeast Burger Became a Nightmare. So, Abraham, I don't know if you've heard this, but I saw a headline on a news article the other day saying that MrBeast is like suing his partner company in MrBeast Burger for some reason or another. I haven't really read into it, but have you heard about it?
I heard nothing about it.
So we actually tried MrBeast Burger, and we weren't too impressed. Like, what did you think about it?
I mean, so we did, we were tasting all different types of influencers' products, and I was actually hungry that day, so I was looking forward to it. But I mean, it was soggy. It had a Ruby Tuesday sticker on it. It was everything was just really off. It definitely was terrible, quality. So I was kind of like, what? That's weird, The chicken sandwich maybe 2.5.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, this is worse than McDonald's. That's pretty bad.
I was still hungry, so I ate it. It was still a burger, but I mean, definitely not anything special.
Yeah, because we've had MrBeast's other products, and they're a lot more refined. They're a lot they're super nice packaging. The branding is great. The product is usually pretty good.
Yeah.
That one would just seem like an outlier. Why the fuck would he just put his name behind something so shitty? So
you can just order McDonald's. I mean, what's the difference?
100%. So, all right, we'll check out this video, see what they have to say, and see if we learn anything new.
For today's video, I was actually going to buy some MrBeast Burger to try on camera for the first time. But when I went to purchase it, it would not allow me to, which was fairly fitting. So without further ado, I guess I'll go straight into the story of how MrBeast Burger is going to become a nightmare for Jimmy. You would be hard-pressed to find a person to refute the claim that Jimmy
Who's Jimmy?
Jimmy's MrBeast.
Oh, I know his name.
That's his real name? Yeah, Jimmy.
Oh shit, I had no idea.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I mean, does anyone call him Jimmy?
Yeah, his friends.
Really?
Yeah.
That's because we talked the other day about Meet Kevin, and you're like, nobody knows, Kevin put his real name. He wouldn't even run for governor because they wouldn't let him put it on the. So I mean, I'm sure the same thing with Reese. If they ever put Jimmy something on a ballot,
it's Jimmy Donaldson. Yeah.
No one's gonna know.
No one knows that.
Donaldson is the biggest YouTuber of all time. And with him receiving well over 100 million views per upload, a sponsored message on his channel costs a 7-figure sum of money. While most creators would be ecstatic with that, 3 years ago, MrBeast saw a bigger vision. You see, instead of getting a one-time payment of $1 million, if the top influencer created an in-house brand to promote instead, he could scale it to be worth upwards of $200 million. And with that concept was the inception of MrBeast Burger, as he premiered it to his fan base at the end of 2020.
Money for you, money for you, money for you, money for you. You better come get a Beast Burger. What's up, boys? Welcome. What can I get you? All we have is burgers. Grab that. What's that? We need 4 burgers!
This business of a delivery-only fast food shop was the product of the pandemic keeping people inside, and also allowed Jimmy to rapidly expand since he didn't have to worry about building out brick-and-mortar locations. But instead, ghost kitchens...
So you know something that's actually super interesting? I knew that it opened during the pandemic, but he said late 2020, which is that was when nothing was really open. So what's cool is...
Well, hold on a second. You're from California. Yeah. Nothing was really open in California. In Georgia, things were open literally a month after the pandemic hit.
Yeah, but major stuff, in the sense of let's say major sports, I think they were still pretty
UFC was going.
Yeah, that was the only one though. That was the first one back.
Yeah, the first one back. But in Georgia, things were open. Things were open within a month after, and then within 3-4 months, almost everything was open.
Yeah. But what I mean to say is, this is the idea. This idea was accelerated because of COVID. Because he did a non-brick and mortar, so people didn't have to travel anywhere, and then he developed a whole brand within this time period. And UFC was the same, where they 4x their revenue because they were the only sport open.
Yeah.
He probably did the same. I'm sure his numbers were so high off the bat because of that.
For sure.
In pre-existing restaurants that might have been struggling due to the global conditions. Immediately, this simple concept was a massive sensation, soon expanding so hundreds of millions had the ability to order Beast-style fries on their smartphone whenever they wanted. And less than 2 years later, he was opening up his first physical location with 10,000 in attendance.
Wow, this is wild!
Damn, is that in a mall?
Yeah.
10,000 people came out to... I wonder if other stores.
I think that's the biggest mall in the country, though.
Mall of America.
I'm pretty sure it's Mall of America. I'm almost certain.
Wow, that's crazy. I wonder if the other stores got business, or they just kind of screwed them because no one could walk in the mall.
Probably screwed them.
Oh my god.
This is crazy.
On Twitter, Donaldson said more than 10,000 people lined up for the opening of MrBeast Burger.
The chain seemed to be at the top of the world, poised to possibly be the next fast food titan next to the likes of Wendy's, Burger King, and McDonald's. But as 2023 rolled in, YouTube viewers would be hard-pressed to hear much about MrBeast Burger at all, and Jimmy moved on to new ventures. So what happened? At first, many assumed a more positive spin on the story. It was surmised that Jimmy had moved his focus to his Feastable snack business as the world started to get back to somewhat normal, and that MrBeast Burger was still a feather in Jimmy's hat of business accomplishments. He scaled it, it was running to a level he was satisfied with, he didn't feel like dealing with the complicated nature of adding more physical locations, and he moved on to his next win. But this facade started to crumble when the creator Eddie Burback released a viral video in which he criticized and poked fun at the world of ghost kitchens. This gave millions a brand new perspective on the once hot new industry, and YouTube's biggest creator was one of the main focal points.
The reason I've waited so long to talk about MrBeast Burger is because it utilizes all three main forms of ghost kitchens, including trailers. Now, the leading company that owns these trailers seems to be Reef Global, but as I've been reading some articles about it, it seems like Reef isn't doing so hot lately. They've had a lot of big companies pull business from them. It even looks like Wendy's had a projected 500 locations set to open, but they cut that deal, and Reef later exited its Houston market.
So do you know, like, if MrBeast still has that location in that mall?
So I guess it's not in that mall. It was in New Jersey. I just found out it was the New Jersey Mall of America. It was called American Dream.
So he still has that?
Yeah, based on their website that I'm looking at right now, it's still.
Does it have more locations?
And that's the only location.
So there's one physical location.
Yep, one physical location.
Yeah, I get it. Like, I mean, definitely after ordering it and seeing it, they definitely have a lot of problems to work out. But you'd figure MrBeast could easily figure out a way to make that work. I mean, with all
the thing is, I'm sure that he probably signed like an exclusivity with this partner that like was going to fulfill their food, and it's probably doing extremely well as far as volume.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not so much because repeat orders are probably so minimal.
Oh yeah, I would never repeat.
That's what I mean. So there's probably not very many repeat orders. But I think that he's probably stopped expanding because he was like, "Fuck, I don't want to put my name behind a brand."
Something that's not the best. I'm sure he wants to.
He wants to be the best at everything.
He wants to have the best videos, best everything, and he does.
Right.
So if he's not the best, I see why.
And laid off 5% of its workforce amid low sales and a rash of permitting and safety violations.
To briefly summarize, Eddie was able to shift the narrative away from ghost kitchens such as MrBeast Burger being an innovative eating experience, to instead that of a soulless business model that took customers away from mom and pop shops, with derivative storefronts that sold the same exact food and crowded out competition on apps like DoorDash. There has also been a worrying amount of press about how the government hasn't been able to keep up with the new health inspection processes for these new invisible storefronts, to keep the public informed on safety and allergy concerns. In some cases, the trailers used to prepare this food have proven unsafe for workers. On top of this, Eddie revealed through his order of Jimmy's signature products that the quality was inconsistent to say the least. The food looked nothing.
I mean, it's definitely going to be inconsistent because literally every single person that makes it is trained. It's a different store.
Right.
Like they all have different stuff. There's no way it's gonna be the same.
So they all have the same stuff, like the same items to cook. That's what they said. That's what MrBeast initially had said.
He said, but there's no way because I mean, you saw the boxes that came in. They're all different.
Yeah.
They're not. There's no way that every time you order it looks the same because there's no way it comes to Ruby Tuesdays every time.
Right. The thing is, what if they like had sent them to some degree, but like who's keeping them accountable?
Right.
But like, how do you keep that accountable? As long as they're getting the sales, who gives a fuck what it is?
Yeah, you have to have someone in charge of it all that cares.
Like on the official website, and this deception was especially erroneous considering Jimmy's young fan base who was buying it.
This is what the Impossible Beast style burger is supposed to look like. And this looks like if somebody drew a burger for me. How is this real? It looks like a Krabby Patty.
In the upcoming months after the skewering, Jimmy finally took a stronger stance against his once darling business by unlisting the video that premiered the brand. He tweeted, "I started MrBeast Burger to help restaurants make more money during the pandemic, and it worked. But sadly, when working with 2,000 restaurants I don't own, it's impossible to guarantee the order quality. I'm moving on from MrBeast Burger so I can focus on Feastables and making snacks. And
yeah, I never knew he did that. So is MrBeast not even around anymore? Or are they still?
So let me check on Uber Eats.
Can you order?
So like I could order from this location because we did.
But that was a few months ago.
So let me see if I can still order it right now. So I can still order.
Really?
I can still order on it right now.
Alright.
And to be honest, I just enjoy Feastables 100 times more. Making snacks is awesome and something I'm way more passionate about. But the company I partnered with won't let me stop even though it's terrible for my brand. Young Beast signed a bad deal. Stripping away Jimmy's upbeat framing from this statement, it was clear the young CEO was irritated with how
much did MrBeast grow from 2020, early 2020 to now? Like, did he like 10 times grow, 5 times? Like what was his subscriber base in beginning of 2020 to what it is now, 2023, August?
So in 2020 he hit 50 million.
50 million?
Yeah.
What does he have now?
Right now, MrBeast is at
50 million is still crazy.
That is wild. So MrBeast hit 50 million in 2020. Now he's at 174 million.
Okay.
That's great. He tripled.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Triple with big numbers too.
Triple with huge numbers.
Yeah.
this business venture played out. Having partnered in 2020 with the ghost kitchen startup Virtual Dining Concepts, things went sour as orders came in that didn't live up to the MrBeast moniker. In a turn of events, shortly after this fallout went public, many of the tweets were deleted and the video promoting the chain was made live again. It was clear to everyone observing that a fight was brewing behind the scenes, as contractual obligations made the YouTuber reverse course for the time being. And it's no surprise that this standoff occurred to many that know the space. When looking at food...
You know what's really cool though for MrBeast about this? I guarantee you he learns so much about like working with other people, negotiating, doing deals, and how, you know, to protect himself better and realizing all these different things. I guarantee you he's so much smarter now.
So I could be wrong, and obviously like he did brand deals and stuff like that, but MrBeast Burger was the first step in the line of businesses that MrBeast started.
Yeah.
And as someone that's going like fresh into business, because obviously he's a social media creator, this is his first real business venture, but imagine because you're a social media creator, you start off with such a big playing ground. Like that signature of a contract could fuck him really bad theoretically, right? Like you could be losing tens of millions of dollars at his level because you're getting so much volume. So it's like where someone that's like his age wants to start a business, they're not going to be able to lose this much money or like make this big of an impact.
Right.
franchises, there were clearly risks not fully thought out. When a chain like Jack in the Box has a contamination outbreak leading to someone getting sick and dying, it can be a death sentence to the brand. Now imagine if something bad happened to a kid eating MrBeast Burger. Jimmy's face would permanently be attached to that story, even if he had no involvement with the negligence. And for that risk, there is currently not much reward for him to stick with the company, as the mobile food delivery service business is notoriously unprofitable. Those in it are banking on that changing at a later point and want to be on the ground floor. But
man, I didn't realize that. They said that most of these online ghost kitchens are not profitable. Is that what they said?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's crazy. They said that they do it to try to pivot later and do something bigger.
That's weird.
Yeah, I would have thought that just that business alone would have been.
But that might take years, if it ever happens at all, for many of those ghost kitchen startups. With this, it makes more sense why Jimmy is pivoting to the snack and candy vertical. For one, he didn't directly name feed.
This is what he means by that. So on DoorDash, there's a whole bunch of restaurants that you've never heard of.
Right.
Like I know Chuck E. Cheese has one where it's like a character's name and then pizza, and you don't know that it's Chuck E. Cheese, but that brand is unknown. It's not advertised by Chuck E. Cheese at all.
Right.
It's unassociated with it, but everybody knows that it comes from Chuck E. Cheese. So I think those brands don't make money, but I think the people that are actually running those ghost kitchens might be, because I don't think they own those ghost kitchens.
Right.
Like they're paying rent to somebody to use the space. Right. So I think those people might be making money.
Feastables after his channel like he did with MrBeast Burger, so it has the potential to have a life beyond just his audience. Additionally, quality control and scalability are a lot easier with prepackaged, shelf-stable food items. It's less complicated to make sure everything is being done properly when you're making chocolate bars in 1 or 2 factories, rather than thousands of kitchens across the country. And because of that, they're also able to grow to more brick-and-mortar locations with a proven business model that has worked for over 100 years for other brands. Because of this, it didn't come as a shock to many when MrBeast recently sued Virtual Dining Concepts for serving what he called disgusting, inedible, and revolting.
That's crazy to post like you're suing your own company partner for inedible.
Yeah.
Man, he must have a lot of complaints.
Yeah. The thing is, I think like this is just knowing MrBeast. Because he doesn't seem like when you hear him, it's almost like Elon Musk, where like what they say is what they mean, and they're not gonna sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
I think what he's suing them for isn't just the fact that he's like losing money. I think it's the fact that it's his brand. I think it's like it's tarnishing his name.
Yeah.
Food under his name, and as a result, tarnishing his brand.
Yeah.
He is seeking monetary compensation as well as the ability to end the popular chain for good. Of course, VDC hasn't taken the suit to lying down, as this has been their biggest brand to date. They responded claiming that the complaint is riddled with false statements and inaccuracies, and is a thinly veiled attempt to distract from Mr. Donaldson's and Beast Investments' breaches of the agreements between the parties, including Mr. Donaldson's recent false disparaging statements regarding the MrBeast Burger brand and VDC. So with that, we'll just have to see what happens next. Though most likely everyone loses no matter the outcome of the court case. Jimmy will spend his valuable mental capacity dealing with legal woes, instead of candy bars and YouTube videos.
But you know what? MrBeast will probably just make a video of it, and that video like will go, hundreds of millions of viewers.
Yeah.
And he'll make money. Like he spends millions of dollars on a video anyway.
Yeah.
So like it's just like another video. He can just make it and just be like what he normally spends
That
anyway.
makes a difference, yeah.
So, he don't give a fuck what it costs.
Yeah.
And VDC is fighting for a brand that will...
I guarantee you that would be like a hot video people would want to watch. That's be very interesting, like the whole thing. What's going on.
Yeah.
slowly die even if they win the case, since the face of it wants no association with what he sees as a lackluster product. To put it simply, MrBeast Burger will be to Jimmy what the CDI Zelda games are to Nintendo.
Oh boy! I'm so hungry, I could eat an Octorok!
I had no idea. I thought he was just trying to keep growing it. I had no idea he had all these problems.
Yeah, me either. I mean, 2,000 locations in like a year.
Yeah.
I think it was within a year that he did all that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's insane.
Well, they're ghost kitchens, but still, that's amazing. That's why the quality's not good.
Yeah, you can't grow that quickly. Almost anything.
You have to have really the right people that are really on top of it.
Yeah. I'm curious to see like the updates on this. Like, what will the company that he's suing say in response? Like, will he say like? Because I'm reading this article here, and I guess the CEO had mentioned something like, oh, this is simply a celebrity just trying to get more equity within this brand, or they didn't like the deal they signed and they didn't do their contractual obligations. I have a feeling that MrBeast is less like corporate than that, and I think that he's telling the truth, and they're kind of like
for sure. But that's a great argument to tell everyone, because that usually is the case.
Right.
You can tell MrBeast don't give a shit about that, but
even anecdotally, from what we saw, it makes sense. It makes sense. So.
Sure.
But I'm curious to see where it comes, and I wonder, like, they're saying that the damages might be up to $100 million.
What damages?
So, like, the lawsuit might be over $100 million because the damages to MrBeast's reputation might equal.
Oh, MrBeast could be suing for
over $100 million. Yeah. That's what these articles are saying. I don't know how true they are, but I'm curious to see when that amount goes public.
$100 million is not that much. I mean, he's already offered over $1 billion
for his company.
Yeah, so I mean, that's 10%. That makes
10% tarnishment. Yeah, nothing.
That's reasonable.
So. But yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes. So we'll keep you guys updated. We'll make more content about MrBeast's lawsuit. If you guys like this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And also, a lot of you guys aren't subscribed. If you guys are watching this video, make sure you're subscribing because it shows us that we're doing the right thing. So
there's a good chance Jeff was involved in this, and you know what? Fuck Jeff, because that's probably one of
Fuck Jeff. Yeah. Lawsuit to Jeff coming soon. No, All right, see you guys in the next video.